when Michael Mara was a member of this committee, he challenged Shirley-Ann Somerville, your predecessor, about whether the COVID recovery plan, the education recovery plan, was sufficient for the task. And she was adamant that it was. And she said, working together, we will ensure that all pupils are given the support that they need to recover their learning, health and well-being. That includes maximising how we support challenge, improvement and reduce the variability in what children achieve in different parts of the country. So she was adamant that the plan was good enough, that it would deal with the challenges, undoubted challenges of the pandemic. But we now know that we will not close the poverty-related attainment gap as was promised, and I know the Minister will talk about the pandemic. So why was the plan not sufficient to meet the challenge, and why was Michael Mara not listened to?
Well, I'm not going to comment on Michael Mara because he's not here this afternoon, Mr. Rennie. Well, I hear you were here. I wasn't here at that time either, but I do think it's important that we look at the progress that's been made. You know, I hear all the critique from Mr. Rennie and from others around this table on a regular basis in the Chamber about our schools, and yet the exam results this year, the pass rate for Nat 5 and higher is up. The advanced higher pass rate is up compared to last year. Grade A percentages in Nat 5 higher and advanced higher are up. The deprivation gap has narrowed for Nat 5 higher and advanced higher. The results really kind of show increases in terms of our technical and vocational qualifications. And the data that I set out to Mr O'Kane also tells us a very positive story of improvement. Now, I accept there's more to do. I do not detract from that. I think we need to intensify the progress. I set out some of this to Parliament last week, and there'll be further work that Education Scotland and the Inspectorate need to take forward. But I do hope members can try to get behind some of the positive results we are seeing in our schools. I don't detract from challenges here, and much of that, I have to say, is in a funding space, so I'm interested in Mr Rennie's views on that. But these are real successes for children and young people, despite what they have experienced in terms of the global pandemic, and we should be proud of them.
So there's 170,000 pupils at school now who are in the SIMD 20. And their fortunes have hardly bunched an inch in the last 10 years. Hardly bunched an inch. So the Minister shouldn't hide behind pupils and say that their success, which is undoubted, they have got successes. But what about these 170,000 people who were promised that the gap would close and it's not been closed? When we were told that the recovery plan was good enough and that they would be assisted, and they've not been.